There we go. Hey, Jason, I can't hear you, but I can see you. Perfect. Yep, I can hear you well.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I don't need these things then. Oh, God.
Have you figured out your
I've never
Zoom
had so
issue?
much trouble. No, I'm on my iPad now.
Oh, no.
I've just given up on my computer. I know. I don't know. I literally don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, I upgraded the operating system and it just doesn't want to play nice. So I'm just like, all right, don't then.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you for making the
It's
time to
just
come on
like,
the show. Really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your
thanks,
work,
Reilly.
and your social media is great as well. Your presence is definitely felt, and you obviously put a lot of
Oh,
time and
thanks.
effort into it. But for the people who don't know who you are, would you just mind explaining who you are and what you do, if you can, Jason?
Yeah, very simple. I get paid to do voices on video games, TV, movies, commercials, corporate videos. I've even done a roller coaster ride. I haven't done an audio book yet, but I just don't have the patience for that. But yes, Jason Anthony, you can find me on TikTok at the Jason Anthony. That's my new go-to place for socials. And yeah, I've been doing this a long time, 20 odd years now, nearly. Yeah.
And you've done so many
Yeah.
different voices. You've voiced so many different characters. What have been some of
Mm.
your favorites?
More recently, probably Call of Duty, Otter from Call of Duty, our little SAS Brit in MW19 and Warzone and COD Mobile as well. Also Teclis, Lore Master of Hoeth, our High Elf in the Warhammer series 1, 2, and 3. And then right up to this year, a few voices in Hogwarts Legacy, including, you can see him there. Ah, yes, the sorting hat.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great game, and it's getting a lot of great feedback. You know, people are loving it, and it's addicting as well. Are you much of a gamer?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I love doing the voices in them. And I get most of my education now from TikTok, as I'm sure a lot of people do, get their news and fun facts. But yeah, I love to watch a lot of gamers content on there, and that's where I learn whether I've done a good job or whether they like the game. Um, but no, I'd like to say I have the patience for gaming, but I don't. I'm terrible, terrible.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm completely the same. It's that makes sense. But I
It's a
mean, yeah,
big
you've
commitment, isn't it? It's a
it
big commitment.
is.
Yeah,
It's time
yeah.
commitment, energy commitment, and even though like some people really get addicted and really enjoy that, it can definitely take a lot of time out of your day. But yeah, I'd recommend
Yeah.
playing Hogwarts Legacy, and you do such a good job in it as well.
Oh,
Now
thank you.
you've come this far. You've done so many voices. How did you start?
Rather unconventionally, I would say, because I first started out as a TV presenter host, most notably on Playhouse Disney in the UK. And shortly after doing that, there's a big commercial channel in England called ITV, Independent Television Network, and they were launching a smaller sister channel called ITV2, and they needed on camera presenters to do like these sort of MTV kind of segments in between the shows. So I joined the team for that. And we did that for about 6 months. And then they decided they wanted to move over to voiceover announcements. It's a very, I don't know, are you in New Zealand, Reilly?
Yeah, in the South Island.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a very British thing, but we love to announce what's coming on the telly in England. So we have announcements before the show, and then during the credits to let you know what's coming on after the ads, and it's all very very British. Um, and so ITV had already done that. BBC, was a trailblazer for those announcements, and then ITV2 decided to do the same, and I basically just stayed on to do that. Had no training, and it was all live announcements. So you'd have your little trusted mic here in your booth, and you'd have this foot pedal, and when you press the foot pedal down, you were live to the UK.
Wow.
And we had to write our own scripts. There was no producer, no director. There was a digital clock in our studio, no bigger than this, by the way. This is about the average size for a VO booth. And we literally had to time everything in. There was an engineer outside queuing all the programs, but we were solely responsible for finding the time in. And as soon as that clicked in, you'd press foot on the button. You're watching ITV2 in half an hour. It's Jerry Springer. Right now, though, it's an Emmerdale omnibus. And you just prayed that you'd finish with 1 second left to go into the show, because it had to be bang on, because 1 second too long and there's a big horrible pause, and of course the other end of that, if it's too long, you get cut off and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing.
Wow.
So that was my baptism by fire for voiceover. That's
crazy.
how it is crazy. It still is. There still is a lot of live announcements done in the UK, not as much as they used to, but that was really good training. Scary.
Did you ever get did your voice ever did you ever get a high pitch or a break or make a mistake when you were live?
Couple, yeah. We're only human, aren't we? Yeah, couple of little hiccups, and we would have obviously rehearsal time while the show's playing. We'd frantically be writing our scripts out, and timing them and getting the delivery just right. So right in those early stages, I think I did get clipped once or twice, which really hurt. You're like, oh no. But that's live. It's gone. Forget about it. Move on to the next one. But nothing bad, I gotta say. Nothing really, really bad. And you soon, even after one day of doing that, and you've done sort of 30 or 40 announcements, you're getting the hang of it,
Yeah, that makes sense. And obviously, I mean, what I do with my podcasts, I interview voice actors, people in the voiceover industry. We do relate it to anime now and again. Have you ever thought of going into anime?
I'd love to do anime. It's a whole different industry, and I think there's a couple of companies over in the States where I'm based that do it, but I think it's localized talent now. There's one can't remember the name of it, but it's in Texas, and they'll only do, I think, local hires to go into studios. I don't think a lot of anime is done via Source Connect and via remote recordings, because I mean I've got a great broadcast studio here and I do a lot of stuff from here, but anime is not one of them. So yeah, I'd love to do some. I've done some sort of anime style games. Inazuma 11 was one of them, for Nintendo, and then Forsaken World was very anime kind of look and feel to it. But it's quite a different. You probably get this. You've probably heard this before, but it is almost its own separate thing, anime.
Yeah, no, I have heard that, and yeah, Funimation is the company in Texas, and they do some outside work. But you're right. If I've heard recently, if you want to be a protagonist or a main character, it's best to be there. Have you, with your work that you've done and
Yeah,
with your fandom on TikTok and other platforms, have you gone to
yeah.
conventions and been guests on conventions?
I've done a couple, not that much. I used to do stand up comedy a few years back, so to do both would keep me out of town too much. So I favored the stand up and sort of, obviously not to do the comic cons because it just takes you out of town, and if you're out of town you can't work, and so I couldn't really do the two together. So I've took my foot off the accelerator now with stand up, and I'm looking to get to do some more comic cons. It's a growing industry,
Hmm.
but equally there's probably 1,000 more shows and video games than there was when I was doing it. So it's also a very it's very competitive. But I hope to do some stuff certainly with Hogwarts Legacy. I think to do some wizarding events or something with Hogwarts. That would be great.
Heck yeah, that'd be incredible. We need to get you down to New Zealand sometime. Have you been to New Zealand?
Oh, I'd love that. I want to come to New Zealand. I've never been. I've never been. It looks so beautiful.
It is. It really, really is. And where I live in the South Island, it's almost like you are in Lord of the Rings. It's big mountains and hobbits everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great fun. Um, Now we have a lot of aspiring voice actors who listen to the podcast. What would be your advice? Obviously, you
Yeah.
went in the unconventional way, like you said. But what would your
Yeah.
advice be to people who want to get into the industry like you have?
Yeah. I get this question a lot, and I always ponder over the right advice because it's kind of multifaceted, really. Um, if it's specifically voice acting, that's such a unique genre, but it still requires the same set of skills as an on-camera actor. So if you literally haven't done anything before, I would say try and get into a local amateur dramatics acting class online,
Mhm.
preferably in person, and just get a feel for acting in itself. Um, and it's not just the acting, it's learning to take direction from a director, which is equally as important as acting chops too.
Mhm.
Because if you can't take direction, they can't do anything with you. Um, Improv, stand-up comedy, theater, television acting, all of that is great, a great skill set and great experience. Any experience you can get performing, because even though when we go into a voiceover studio, we are very limited in space. We have to stay, what they say, on mic.
Yeah.
Um, but all those tools, all that physicalization and skills that you learn from an acting class all come into play when you're in front of the microphone. And more so, I think, because you really do have to have a great imagination, a great sense of freedom and playfulness, take risks. They can, it's tapes free. It's,
Mm.
they can wipe over it. They don't have to use it. So all of those things you learn only by doing in a class, on a stage, in a theater, in an improv, stand-up comedy, whatever. If it's specifically, if you've done all that, let's say you've got a little bit of that behind you, a bit of experience behind you, and you really do want to try voice acting, I would say probably just find, again, always better to go in person, but if you can't do an online class, and get a little microphone set up at home, the only thing by doing it in person is you'll often be in somebody's studio, so you'll get a real sense of what it's like rather than doing it from home. So I really do encourage you to get to a class if you can and do it in person, because it looks great and it looks fun. But when you're behind that glass and it's just you and a script and nobody's playing opposite you, nobody's feeding the line in, and you're delivering a script, that experience is going to be invaluable in a class setup rather than going, I'm leaving my job, I'm off to be a voice actor. These are things you've got to try first, because you've really got to enjoy the process of it. You've got to think, oh my God, I love this. This is incredible. There's no point, making too much of a financial investment, buying gear and everything, and then you do your first class and go, oh my God, I can't handle it. It's not for me. I'd rather be on camera. I'd rather be doing, acting on film. So though that would be my advice, those two sets. But it is the doing is very different from what it looks like.
And that's really good advice. Like you
well, I
said,
thought long and hard about it, Reilly. Yeah, I thought long and hard about it, because I get asked a lot, and it's very easy just to say, oh, get a studio at home and get some gear and have a play and do this. But it's like anything. If it's years of study, really, it's years of study and practice. I'm still learning. You're always learning. You're all picking up tips and things. But ultimately, it is having that sense of playfulness and freedom in a very weird, stale environment. Which it is. It's very clinical in some ways, a voice studio.
Yeah, you need to have quite a strong mind to overcome that. And do you still enjoy it today? You still think to yourself when you wake up,
oh, I
I'm
love
looking
it.
forward to going to work?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I've tried and still do a lot of other stuff. I still love stand-up comedy. But I think for me, the voice acting, it's such a pure performance, if that makes sense. As in, there's nothing to rely on. There's nothing to rely on other than your imagination, your emotion, and your storytelling. And
That's awesome.
that microphone, that picks everything up. It's the most sensitive thing in the world that will pick up everything you're feeling and everything you're saying. That's your tool for the job.
That's true. That's really true. Well, you do it so well, and that advice is amazing. Well, we've got a bit of a quick fire question. So we got 10 quick fire questions for you. So just for your fans and for my listeners to get to know you a little bit more, there's 10 questions, and you just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Excellent.
Alrighty. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Nice. What's your favorite movie?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nice. I like that one. What's your favorite town that you've traveled to? What's your favorite town?
London.
Cool. Give us a dad joke.
What's this? I don't know, but here comes another one. No, there you go.
That's good. That's good. I'm going to use it on my children. I like that. What's your favorite type of food?
Sushi.
Cool. What's your favorite type of music?
Jazz.
Who is your favorite person in your life right now? Personal.
My girlfriend of 16 years.
Oh, you're going to get brownie points there as well. That's good. That's good. Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Yes. Cakes of all shapes and sizes. Love cakes.
Cool. Do you have a unique hobby?
unique hobby. No, not really.
Mhm.
Gardening,
Yeah.
which people always say, really? They never expect me to do gardening. I love gardening.
Okay, that's nice. I've got a couple of big
Yeah,
gardens. I've got a greenhouse in another area. I'm just starting
there you
to
go.
get into it, and it's good fun. Not growing anything at the moment, unfortunately. Um,
Yes, we've got squash and all sorts going
at the
on.
moment, oh, is it
Yeah,
it's summer for you? I can't think.
summer. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah. No, it's winter for
that's
us,
why.
so it's
Right.
we're just getting things sorted.
Yes.
What is your favorite animal? Last question.
Dog.
Cool. You did.
Dogs.
That was the fastest quick fire I've done. People usually you think about it too much, but you did it perfectly. Do you have dogs?
Yes.
How
Yes. Two
many?
two wonderful two dogs.
Cool.
Yeah. They're amazing.
What
Incredible creatures.
what type?
They're a little mixed small breed kind of Chihuahua and Terrier mix. They're both rescues. Um and yeah, they're great. One loves squirrels. The other one just follows because the other one's a little bit bigger than him. They're named Harry and Alfie.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, I've got four.
Yeah.
I've got four dogs, two French
Ah.
bulldog pugs, and two
Oh wow.
two Huntsaway greyhounds. And
Oh my God, that's a contrast for walking.
yeah, I know, but they're,
Whoa.
they're hilarious. The Huntsaway Greyhounds go after the ball first, and the other two just follow them, follow back. They never get the ball, never have a hope of getting the ball, but they at least
No
follow them.
chance. No. They're there for moral support.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, well, we got a couple of things that I would love you to say, if possible, for the fans. A couple of fans out there.
Oh yeah.
So there's one. Um, if you can say something to Declan, is his name, Declan, in the
Oh yeah.
In your Call of Duty Otto's voice, if possible.
Oh yeah. Right. Declan. Oi, you muppet. What's your fire? This is Otter going dark.
Perfect. I love that. That's awesome. That is so cool. All right, could you do Kirsty, Kirsty, and you're the Sorting Hat.
Ah, yes. Interesting. Kirsty. A brilliant mind. Yes. Could be great in Slytherin. What's that? No. Better be Gryffindor.
That's awesome. That is so cool. They're gonna love this. And we got one more. Um, we got the Sorting Hat as well, if possible, for Pam or
Oh, yeah.
Pam. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Pam. Mmm. Green fingered, I see. Yes. Very creative. I know just what to do with you. Better be Hufflepuff.
Amazing. There were a lot of requests,
I hope
but
I
that
got their
was
houses right.
yeah. That was the top request that people got comments and likes for. So that's those are the three people. But that's amazing. Do you have a cameo that people can get these shout outs from?
Yes, yeah, cameos. Yep, cameo. Jason Anthony. Yeah, they've been very popular doing. I think I did one for a baby shower the other day as the Sorting Hat, announcing whether it would be a witch or a wizard.
Oh.
Yes.
Hopefully you got it right.
I don't know. They never let me know.
That's awesome. That is so cool. All right, well we'll send people there as well. All right, so Cameo, TikTok, that's your main sources of social media. And do you have a website,
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, official Jason Anthony.
Perfect.
com.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. Yeah, when I told the fans that you were coming on, they got very excited. They love your work and love your voice acting chops. So I really appreciate you making the time to come on the show and and talk a little bit and show your greatest instrument off. I love it. I love it. What's your plans for the
Thank
evening?
you. Let's see. Well, we just binge watched Skinwalker Ranch, which we love.
Hmm.
So it'll just be a nice. It's very hot at the moment here. It's like 95 Fahrenheit. So we'll probably sit out with a drink or something out on the back patio, and then probably move in and watch a little bit of Hoarders. Have you watched that? Have you watched Hoarders?
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah,
You find cat skeletons under things.
yeah, that's it. That's the show. Yeah.
Me and my wife are currently watching Black Mirror, the new on Netflix. Have you heard
Oh
of
yeah,
Black?
the new season. Yeah,
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 very
watched it. Yeah,
good,
very good.
very intense. You
These
always
ones seem to be a bit. Yeah, they seem a bit darker. These ones. I was a bit like, whoa,
I know.
really. Yeah.
After last night's one, me and my wife we like finished watching it. And we're like, oh goodness, this feeling we get after every Black Mirror
Yes.
episode. Man, we shouldn't watch it again.
No, they've gone from kind of mysterious and thought provoking to just damn right scary. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
Oh gosh. Okay.
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, maybe Hoarders is the place to be for me tonight as well. But no, thank you very much, Jason. You're
Thanks,
amazing,
Ray.
and I'll post the podcast in a couple of
Thank you,
weeks.
mate.
But keep an eye out. Have a great
Great.
day.
Yeah, you too, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Bye.